As the war in Iran continues, Seattle faces an uncertain future around FIFA's World Cup this summer. Iran was set to play Egypt at Lumen Field on June 26, but Iran's sports minister said that the Iranian team cannot play because of the ongoing war in his country. So this morning, we're joined by Alexander Abnos, a senior editor for The Guardian, to learn more about how this could impact the World Cup. Thank you so much for being here, Alexander.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's jump right into it. Have we ever heard of in the past of a team dropping out of World Cup like this? I mean, it takes so much time and persistence to get qualified and actually get into this huge global tournament.
Yeah, not for a long time. We haven't had a situation where a team has pulled out of the World Cup after qualifying for it since 1950. And back then, the reasonings were a little bit more appropriate for the time. A bunch of nations pulled out because that World Cup was in Brazil, and the logistics of traveling to Brazil at that time were just a little bit too onerous for them. So we haven't really faced a situation like this, and certainly not involving an active conflict.
And it just seems, as we've been watching the political situation unfold in the war with Iran and what's been going on here in the U.S., it's a tumultuous time, and we keep leading up to the World Cup. We're getting closer and closer. We already felt that the game against Egypt and Iran in Seattle on June 26, that's our pride match. That was already designated before we knew the draw and the teams. That was kind of contentious for both of those countries, and thought maybe there could be something there. But now with the war, you know, who could replace Iran? How does that work with FIFA?
I wish I had a clear answer to give you, but I don't yet, because as I said, this is a totally unprecedented situation. It's not as if FIFA has a really well-worn process that they use for this, but there are a couple possibilities. One of those possibilities, and maybe the most likely, should Iran actually be withdrawn from the tournament, which it's important to note that has not officially happened yet. As of right now, Iran is still very much in the tournament. Nothing has actually happened. If they were to officially withdraw, Iraq might actually be the replacement. They finished just behind Iran in Asian qualifying. They're actually due to play a World Cup playoff match later today against the winner between Bolivia and Suriname. And they've actually had trouble and been seeking assurances about their safe passage to Mexico for that game because of the ongoing conflict in that region. So FIFA, should Iran drop out or should FIFA remove them from the tournament, they might just say, hey, let's just avoid these problems altogether, slide Iraq in the same spot, and there you go. Of course, as it applies to the Pride match, you have pretty much exactly the same problem as before, because Iraq also has criminalized LGBTQ plus relationships.
Yeah, and the feeling overall, maybe some instability around the tournament. What do you think fans are thinking? I mean, when do we maybe think that FIFA could officially announce something like this? Because local FIFA Seattle, big FIFA overseeing this, has not made that announcement, and I'm sure they're looking into so much right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I would be surprised if we get any sort of official resolution to this soon. I think it's interesting that the public comments from the big figures involved in all of this have really changed and been at odds with each other, sometimes from the same people over the course of the last several weeks. Immediately after the attacks, the head of the Iranian FA said that we can't be expected to play this World Cup. And then the head of the Iranian sports ministry said, under no circumstances can we participate. At the same time, you have Gianni Infantino on Instagram saying that Trump is saying that the Iranian team is welcome to compete. And then Trump today on Truth Social is saying they're welcome to come to the World Cup, but, and this is a direct quote, I really don't believe it's appropriate that they be here. So I don't think anybody that's in power really knows what is going to happen yet, and it's going to be interesting to see play out.
Yeah, mixed messaging there for sure. And then the women's Iranian team in Australia playing in a tournament there, and as they were set to leave, they actually traveled there before all of the war started and broke out, and they were being granted asylum from Australia. About 6 or 7 of them, I think, took it, but the others did go back. Do we see, other countries maybe dropping out because of everything that's going on, or looking for asylum?
I think it's, anything is possible. I don't foresee a similar sort of reaction from Iran should they come to the World Cup. I don't know. It's possible, but I really don't think so. I think put plainly, like the situation for women in Iran is a little bit different than it is for men. And at the very least, all of the men on the Iranian national team are pretty accomplished professional players in their own league. So they have a little bit more of their own financial resources to move around with. So I think declaring asylum and needing to take refuge in the U.S. is a little bit different. I do think that it does raise the possibility that Iranian players could make some sort of political statement while they're here, or just as possible, they may want to steer clear of all of this and just play soccer and hopefully, for them, escape from the group stage, which no Iranian team has done in the modern era.
Yeah, it would be a shame to penalize them. Quickly, with our last seconds here, you've covered World Cups. I mean, what is it going to be like, the feeling for these fans of this big tournament?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's funny to go from everything that we've been talking about to this because, World Cups are very serious and they're these geopolitical events that involve everything that we've been talking about. But they're also, I think, really, really fun. I've been to two as a fan and covered two as a journalist, and you really can't overstate how big of a deal they are, how much they take over a town. I think that once this tournament actually starts and the soccer starts, there's going to be a lot of really, really fun stuff, a lot of great games, a lot of things to be invested in, and it's going to make the city of Seattle and all the host cities really, really fun for that period of time.
Yeah, let's create some world peace with that and bring everyone together with culture and community and forget about the politics.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll try.
All right. Well, Alexander, thank you so much for being here, a senior editor for The Guardian. We look to talk to you more in the future.
Thanks so much.
Have a good one.